Hello, this is Josh Burns, and I'm here to do my video on the book I read this week. It's titled Let's Get a Pup, Said Kate, and the author is Bob Graham, and it was published in 2001. And the story started off about a little girl named Kate who was sleeping in her bed, and she was just getting very lonely because her cat Tiger had died the previous winter, and she slept all summer long, with no companion in her bed, which she was used to. So, she was just feeling lonely. So, the next morning she told her parents, she said, let's get a pup. And as they were sitting there getting ready for breakfast that morning, as she told them she wanted a pup, her dad would jokingly ask, do you want a brand new one? Like one that's, she said, no, you can't get a brand new one. They don't come wrapped up, just being a kid. And she started explaining to him what she wanted, She said she wanted a small one that it got excited and that was cute and spun circles when it saw them and realized, hey, there's my new owner. And so as they were getting ready for breakfast, my mom was looking in the paper, and they decided they were going to go to a rescue center. And a rescue center is a place for dogs who don't have homes, where people, can maybe come adopt them and give them a good home. So they rushed in the car and took off down to the rescue center with breakfast uneaten and everything. And when they got there, they found that there was plenty of dogs in there who didn't have homes. They found all these different dogs, dogs that they called sniffers, that were sleepers, wiry-haired dogs, short-haired dogs, dogs that were growlers and sleepers and scratchers and leapers, all these different emotions and things. Short dogs and long dogs and dogs that were happy, and there was other dogs that could care less if they were there or not, and dogs that smelled bad, and all these different dogs. And then they came across one little particular dog called Dave, and he was a little small dog, and when he saw them, he got so happy and spun a circle and was barking. He barked twice at them, and water was flying off his tongue. He was, just what they were looking for. And so they opened the gate up and let him out, and he climbed right up on Kate, and then just, ran right to her. He basically won her over. And so they decided that that was the dog they wanted. And as they were leaving, they were walking past one last dog. It was an old, broad, feeble dog named Rosie, and she just looked so happy and, like she wanted a good home. And just as the dad said, she looked like she was filled with good intentions. And, they ended up leaving there that day without Rosie, but they all just couldn't stop thinking about her, and how good of a dog she would have been. Of course, they said they wanted to adopt all the dogs, but they just couldn't. So they all went home that night, and they put Dave in his little box, and he wouldn't sleep. So Kate ended up going to get him and put him in the bed with her, and he slept in the bed with her. But as she told the parents the next morning, he was crying, so I put him in the bed with me. But I didn't sleep. And the parents, both of them said, neither did I. And so the very next morning, they got dressed and jumped in the car and rushed right back down to the rescue center without eating breakfast again. And, there was Rosie waiting on them to get there. And they ended up bringing Rosie back home with them. And so they had Dave and Rosie, and it just a very, it was a happy little story. And I like the book a lot because it taught a lot about emotions and, all these different acts and sizes and shapes. And it was just a lot of good things in there for kids that they could, learn off such of a simple little story. And it kind of, it was exciting, and it kept you really wanting to read. So overall, I thought it was a great book. Thank you.